Why did God raise up Assyria? Right? Why did he raise up the Ninevites? Well, the Israelites weren't very good. They had become just like the pagan nations. They were idolatrous, they were murderers, they were greedy, they didn't love God, they didn't love his people, they didn't love each other. And so they took advantage of the poor. They acted like the world. So what does God do? And this is what God always does. God gets someone who's worse than they are and judges them. It's almost like God saying, you like sin? And that's what the Assyrians did. The Assyrians, corrupt as they were God's instrument of judgment against a corrupt people. When a nation goes bad, another nation that is more evil than they are to show them what evil is like. And don't think for a moment the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada is not under that same kind of judgment today. God brought them to subjugate. The application is this: what is going to happen to the church? Because when God's people become like the world, what does God do? He judges them. And Peter's very judgment begins in the house of the Lord, meaning the believers. Right? People today, the church today, in immorality and compromising the faith, going to raise up a more violent people. Who is, you think of one religion that's come to subjugate the Western world: Islam. That is worse, basically. Think about this: as corrupt as the church is, Islam is much more, and yet they are overcoming in terms of subjugating society, the Western world. And guess what's happening to people? They're being scattered. And there's a scattering that's going on, and God is bringing that scattering, right? Why? Because I believe God is ready to move in this world in an interesting way, kind of like what happened in Nineveh.